NASCAR may have taken the track away from us, but that doesn't mean we can't go virtual racing here anymore. Welcome to Auto Club Speedway for another week of the SWC Moonlight Cup Series here for the Fontana 170 out in California. What a great racetrack to be at this week in Auto Club. Wonderful California. Smoking Joe up in the booth with Buddy the Professor. Once again, Buddy, are you looking forward to some of the best racing we don't have in NASCAR anymore?
Yeah, absolutely. Here in Auto Club, super fun track, really wide, multiple lanes to take. You're definitely in for a show for the races that take place here, as we saw last week with so many of our different leagues running at Auto Club.
That is true. Kevin Kyle been going for the supremacy of the Next Gen Cup Series races. He'll be here tonight as well in this field that we see lining up, getting ready to wrap up practice here. Got some lap times down. Got to see a lot of the fast boys up front once again for some more action at Auto Club. Speaking of the fast boys, last week we were on the West Coast as well in the desert of Phoenix, Arizona for some short track racing. We saw Ken Redinger pull out that victory. A great final run from him after being so good on the long run all night. Pulled away from Matthew Fritz in the closing laps, who had a great close to another race, getting so close to victory lane. Maybe he can close off this West Coast swing with a win tonight. We'll see what he can do. We saw Zach Panzarella start his season last week. He finished P3. Zach Hillman got a top 5 along with Tom Lester there. And you see the rest of the boys on down. Mata, McGivern, Sanchez, Grigsby, and Wolf rounding out that top 10 last week. 7 cautions. It was a bit of a chaotic one. It actually started off the green flag, Buddy. We went down into turn 1, and Zach Panzarella was backwards. We had Patrick Calgill trying to take the lead and spin and then get T-boned under caution. I mean, wow. Yeah,
that was a rough start to the race last week at Phoenix. It didn't take very long for them to kind of get everything cleared out and sorted out, though. Not as many netcode issues last week as we had seen the previous week, so that was a good thing, even though they were definitely still there.
Yep, you can see going into tonight, we got 85 laps around Auto Club. It's going to be a very interesting one. I ran some practice laps there earlier. Looks like fuel's going to be about 50 to 55 laps, so they should be able to make it past that stage without pitting. But you never know what the pit strategy is going to bring. If this race goes green, I'm expecting to see guys probably pit a couple laps past that stage. We are over 20 drivers, so we will have top 10 stage points again here tonight. So that's something to be keeping our eye on. Got plenty sets of tires as well. If guys want to go a little crazy with their pit strategy, you never know. With all the sparks they're laying down, maybe the right front tire is going to wear out a lot again, and we could see another chaotic one. I don't know if you noticed that, Buddy, but the fireworks are going on already.
Oh, yeah, sitting here watching their Michael Mata. Even down the front stretch here, and especially down the back stretch with all those bumps and everything, all you do is see a shower of sparks from underneath that inside part of the car. Super low, really low setup that they have, as we see Mata get the wall a little bit there. But yeah, every single one of these cars is just a spark show. So we're going to have Vegas round 2 here at Auto Club tonight.
Yeah, we saw how much Vegas, there was a spark show, but also how much the draft and getting runs out of the corner really matter. And I think that's going to be something we're going to see a lot again here today with a little bit more tire wear because, of course, Auto Club is a bit of an older surface, so you never know what's going to happen in terms of tire wear, but the draft, once again, going to be so crucial.
And talking about last week and coming into this week, this right here is kind of the way the points lined up after last week coming into tonight. We saw Kenneth Redinger, super dominant season already, and he has a substantial lead over that cut line. And during his interview last week, he said he wasn't going to let up on anyone. He was just going to approach every race the same as he had, or that he always does, and he's not going to change up anything that he's doing. So these guys further on back, like Lynott, Casey Beer right there by him, they have a challenge ahead of them to try to do anything with Ken Redinger.
Yeah, so of course everything based on points in this series. There's no win and end, but Ken Redinger is already 101 points good on the cut line, and we're 3 races in, so he's effectively got over a race and a half at this. I'd say, over a race and a half at this point on that cut line. So he's in good shape. 3 races in, got a race and a half advantage. But that cut line already in a bit of turmoil right there, very chaotic around there. You see Graham McGivern a couple points to the good. Right now I'm trying to look at the entry list. Graham is here. I am seeing some people, though, right around that cut line not here. Steve Lewis currently not showing up on my board here as somebody that's entered into the race. He just fell out of the top 12. Looking around, I do see pretty much everybody else. I don't see Matt Novella here right now either, up there 6th place in the points. So hopefully those two end up showing up here. Right now they're both in decent spots. Louis got to try and make up some points, and Novella trying to stay in that top 12. Really important to not miss races, as you can see in the points, because nobody on that board right now that you see has 2 starts. So everybody up there started 3 races.
Especially being in a just straight points format, right? No win and end, so you can't. It really take. Oh, I just saw Steve Lewis pop into the entry list, so he has shown up, which is going to be good for him being right there on the cut line. But these guys can't take advantage of a win and end situation where you might be able to miss a race, but you have your favorite track coming up where you just win and you're automatically guaranteed into the playoffs from that. That is not the system we have here.
Yeah, and that's going to have such an effect on what happens. We're going to have to wait and see if Matt Novella shows up. That's the only guy up there that I don't see in the running order. We got the festivities getting ready to kick off. Maybe Matt's going to be just a few minutes late to the driver's meeting here. But let's go down trackside for our pre-race events. Wonderful flyover once again. We got 22 drivers getting ready to do battle here for the Fontana 170. Qualifying just got underway. Gonna be a quick hitting qualifying here tonight. Only 5 minutes around this long track. Usually takes about 45-50 seconds to get around to start your first lap. You can see some of the guys out there right now. It looks like we got Jordan Finnegan out there. I think he's going to be the first one to complete a lap here based on what I'm seeing on the board. You can see Michael Mata on screen right now going crazy down into turn number 1 right there, going right down to the white line. I love seeing these cameras. This is such a cool addition to everything that's going on. See what's going on with everybody. You can see Jordan Finnegan is just very calm and composed right now, just trying to focus on putting down the best lap he can. Patrick, we got a glimpse of the chaos at the start of last week there when he got loose. It looks like he's pretty dialed in right here, trying to get up to speed. Right now, going to start his lap right here. This is his warm-up lap coming out of the pits. So we'll see if he's going for lap 1 heater, lap 2 heater. Right now, Jordan Finnegan to the top of the board, calm, cool, collected, and fastest currently. And then Michael Mata comes in and will take over the pole 2 seconds afterward right there. So Mata now at the top. Now Zach Panzarella goes to the top of the board. It's quick hitting qualifying here at Auto Club. So Zach gonna hit the top of the boards. We'll wait and see who comes around next for a fast lap. Right now I'm watching a few of the guys. Looks like Jay Stinson's coming out of 4. He was 4th on his first lap as he comes to the start finish line. Lap 2 will be a 1:73. So he went a little bit faster, but not gonna pick up any spots right there. Brandon Lawless just completed his first lap for P5. Kyle Lanot's on his Hout lap. Zach Hillman down into turn number 3 for his second lap. He's usually pretty fast here at qualifying. See what he's able to put down. Coming out of 4, coming to the start finish line for his second lap. And Zach Hillman will put down a 40 flat right there, and it momentarily went to the top of the boards, but Ken Redinger comes into swoop pole for right now with a 40.008, and it looks like that's going to be it for Ken. Not sure if that was his first or second lap. Patrick Calgill completing his second lap. Not going to be good enough, goes 3rd on the board right there. Got a few guys still out looking to run some laps. Kyle Lanot going to put it off to the last second. Matthew Fritz as well. Those are the 2 I'm really watching right now, seeing what they can do. Fritz comes to the line to complete his first lap, and it looks like he's going to go for the second lap heater based on his line as he goes 13th on lap 1. Same with Lanot potentially here. We'll see what his lap is as he crosses the start finish line. Yeah, 41 flat. So both of them going for the heater on the second lap. Right now, Fritz going down the backstretch, and you can see he's got a good run going down that backstretch. Going well over 180 miles an hour down into turn number 3. Let's see if he uses the high lane again. Nope, he's going to dive it down to the bottom. Almost get on that white line. Perfect corner right there. If he kept the momentum up enough, he may be able to get a good run out of this. Coming down into the tri-oval. Matthew Fritz's second lap will be good enough to put him 13th. He will not improve. Kyle Lanot out of turn 4. Coming to the start finish line. He did not put down a good lap on his first lap, going for it all in lap 2, and it's going to be good enough to get him P2 on the board. And it looks like that's going to be it for qualifying here tonight. Ken Redinger is going to get the pole here in California, going to continue the West Coast dominance as Kyle not wrecks it at the end of qualifying. Ken Redinger, though.
Ken Redinger's still on fire, like we talked about during the pre-race, and I think during that qualifying session, I accidentally had my mic muted. So,
oh no.
Oh, darn it. But all things said, here's our starting grid. Nope.
All right. So the starting lineup for tonight, Ken Redinger going to pick up the pole here tonight. Man, what a great job by Ken once again to get the pole. He's been so good at this one lap qualifying. Going to be his 3rd pole in 4 starts. Going to start alongside him is going to be Kyle Lanot, winner of Las Vegas earlier this season. Row 2, we see Zach Hillman going to start in 3rd place in the 3 car, going to start alongside Patrick Calgill, carrying one of our special cameras here this week. Row 3, we got Zach Panzarella on the inside. Starting outside will be Danny Sanchez. 2 Chevys looking to get to the front early. Row 4, we got Michael Mata and Jordan Finnegan the row of our special camera crew right there. Let's see what they got in store for us today. Jay Stinson and Graham McGivern going to round out the top 10. The Chevy dominated front is going to be broken up there by the Speedy Brit in 10th. 11th place is going to be our first Toyota in Brandon Lawless, starting alongside Christopher Calgill, also carrying a special camera here tonight. Row 7, we see Cody Matthews going to start alongside Matthew Fritz. We'll see what those two have in store. They've been really good on the long run this season. Row 8, we got another one of our special camera guys. Jonathan Casabier going to start in 15th, alongside Michael Wolf in that Superman paint scheme. Behind them in row number 9, we got Justin Parham going to start in 17th. Unconventional qualifying time there from him. Going to have to work his way through the field tonight, with the first guy not putting down a lap time being Andrew Bolander, the king of starting in the rear of the field. Dalton Geyer also going to not put down a lap time. He'll start 19th alongside Mark Zabok, who will start in 20th. And then rounding out the field, we got Kevin Kyle, California native, going to start alongside Steve Lewis in the 88 car.
Yeah, definitely exciting field here. It almost...
Oh, did somebody forget to grid up? Uh-oh.
I think so.
Steve Lewis, no! Louie, you got to grid up. This is the second time this week that Lewis has missed the grid.
Uh-oh.
So he's 2 for 2 on missing the grid this week. He missed the grid at Richmond on Monday. He did not race last night, and then he missed the grid on Wednesday, tonight here as well. So we're 2 for 2 on missing the grid this week. It worked out in the short term for him on Monday. He did get his way into the top 5, ended up finishing, I believe, in 12th, if I'm not mistaken, on Monday. So maybe going to have a little bit better luck doing it here today. A little bit of a smaller field than we saw on Monday. Drivers going down into turn number 3. We're getting ready for the start of another race. We got that stage at the end of 40. Remember, no caution for it. And we're going to be able to drive flat out to it. We'll see what we got in store here tonight. Will it be a super speedway style race? Will it be a tire race? Will it be a fuel race? What will it be? We're about to find out. Pace car pulls off the track, goes into pits, and the drivers are getting ready to unleash those cars for another week of action. And we're off here at Auto Club. Great jump on the outside from Kyle Lynott. They're even down through the start finish line and into turn number 1. Great jump on the outside right now. Patrick Cowgill giving some help to Lynott. The inside, though, going to have the advantage into turn 1 as they get up to speed. Ken Redinger's loose. Got to save it. Great save from Redinger right there, but he's going to lose a bunch of spots, and it's going to back up that inside line a lot. They're 3 wide further back. Brandon Lawless making moves along with Cody Matthews up the inside. Jonathan Casabier going to dive it down. Everybody stacking up back there, but your leader here at the end of lap number 1 is going to be Kyle Lynott, and he's going to be the big benefactor of Ken Redinger getting loose right there.
Kyle Lynott off to a fantastic start, as it looks like Patrick Cowgill is going to get the run on the outside possibly for the entry to 1. We saw Kyle Lynott have a little bit of bad luck on his side last week and kind of found himself at the wrong end of the stick every incident that happened or whatever. It looks like some of these guys are getting loose in the back on the exit. Still 3 wide back here with Casabier and a couple of other guys. Looks like, who is that in the... Chris Cowgill in the 03 up there on top.
Oh, yep.
That's who I was looking for. Looks like they settled it out, though. Back to 2 wide.
Yeah, it does look like that. Graham McGivern was trying to make a move around the outside of Jay Stinson back there just outside the top 10. I think they did settle back into line, it looks like. Right now trying to see what Jordan Finnegan's doing up here in the top 4. Great start to the night for him. Qualified 8th up to 4th. Trying to stick in this lead group. You can see Ken Redinger trying to recover from that poor start, but amazing save down in 1 and 2. Going to dive to the inside of the 78 of Finnegan and going to clear him out of turn number 4, move back up to 4th. Cowgill now trying to make a move for the race lead right here to the inside of Lynott. It's going to be a drag race at the line. Lynott leads lap 3, but start of lap 4. Let's see what Danny Sanchez and Finnegan going to try and dive to the inside. Contact! The 62's losing it. Oh, he's spinning. Look out. Now he clips the 33. It's a big wreck down in turn number 1.
Graham McGivern really got the bad end of that one. Got clipped, and go back and look at it here. Kinda. Just,
You know, if you roll it back,
I think
it's gonna look like netcode, but like this is not. This is inevitable that like.
Yeah, it was already going to happen whether the netcode was there or not.
Yeah,
I think
100%.
Like if
Finnegan just tried to dive it in there and got tight. It looked like.
I'll go to the back here, rear chase. Or chase. Yeah. Running back just a little bit. Go slow-mo. It looks like there was just a little bit of got tight like you were talking about and was coming up as Sanchez was coming down. They almost saved it. He has his hands
trying
full.
to save it.
And then we're going to see Graham just come in here. He's trying to get out of the way and get down low enough, but it just...
Oh.
I think netcode might have made that hit harder than it probably would have been. If we look at full speed here.
I think most likely though that yeah, I don't know. I don't know, buddy, because you get clipped like that in the right rear, it's going to happen no matter what.
He's probably lucky, or maybe I didn't see him have a meatball or anything. I was surprised it didn't break the right rear wheel.
I'm more concerned with the hit to the front of the car. Usually hitting the wall like that with the nose is almost always an instantaneous engine failure. So it looks like maybe Graham going to be able to get that rolling. Needs a good points day today. I was listening to the radio. Steve Lewis's shenanigans of getting out on track properly put him 2 laps down, and he didn't get the lucky dog originally, but it looks like the admins have conferred and gave him a lucky dog right there, as he was not involved in the wreck. Something weird with iRacing. So Steve Lewis going to be scored 1 lap down now in 22nd. We'll see what he's able to do. I saw those guys come off pit road. Love that graphic. Looks like Justin Parham came down, I believe, right?
Yeah,
back there.
There was Redinger, Parham, Stinson. They all came down, fuel-only stops. We do have Danny Sanchez and Graham McGivern still on pit road getting damage fixed. But it looks like we did have a few takers for fuel only. Mark Zabok and Matthew Fritz was the last 2 that we saw on pit road in that little graphic or whatever, where they kind of flip-flop positions. All of them with a 5 to 8 second stop or whatever, which kind of alludes to fuel only in these cars.
Yeah, we're only a few laps into the race, so we'll keep an eye on the fuel mileage. But based on what I was running, if it's 100%, there should be no fuel concerns. Maybe Ken wanted to make sure he didn't have any sort of damage. I know Parham didn't have the greatest qualifying effort. I wonder if maybe it was a strategical move on their parts to maybe get themselves out of the chaos that we saw at the start of the race. It really did look a lot like a super speedway race, kind of like a larger version of Atlanta almost, where it was a lot of drafting, a lot of momentum, and people really shifting, going 2 and 3 wide everywhere.
Yeah, those first, what was it, a lap and a half or 2 laps, especially whenever Redinger got loose and kind of shuffled to the back and stacked up the inside, it was a little bit hair-raising for everyone there in the middle of the pack, I think, especially considering all the notorious netcode issues we've seen from this car. So it could be a strategic call on their part to try to get out of all that and just put your head down and run your race and not really have to worry about anything. And you can't win the race if you're not there at the end. So that's something a lot of these guys need to keep in mind.
See what happens here. Pace car about to duck on off onto pit road for our first restart of the race. Kyle not going to be in control on the inside. He's got Michael Mata behind him. We're off once again, big push there from Mata on the restart, and it's going to help Kyle not get clear, it looks like, at the outside line. Now you got Michael Mata trying to get clear as well, side by side with the 31 of Calgill right there, going down into turn 1. Looks like he's going to get clear too. Zach Hillman going to try and follow through and get around Patrick here as well, but Patrick should get a run here on the outside. You got the 91 of Mata going to move high and going to take that momentum out of turn number 2. Got some contact a little further back, guys, getting a little squirrely with each other. You can see right there, it looks like Zach Panzarella trying to make a move. I see Kevin Kyle making moves further back in the field as well, almost sticking to 3 wide. And now Andrew Bolander is going to go 3 wide right in front of that battle with a blinking Dalton Geyer in the middle. That is pretty scary, but they're going to keep it straight right there. Field is shuffling like crazy, but Kyle Anat is going to continue leading the race. Michael Mata going to try and figure out a way to get around that 988, but all the dirty air right there. The 83 is a little bit sideways. I think he was able to save it. Little bit of chaos going on there. Man, I am looking everywhere across this field, and the draft is creating some of the wildest runs I've seen in a while.
Yeah, a lot of these this front group, for the most part, is kind of single filed out, a little bit side by side there with Patrick Calgill, 3 wide a little bit further back with Bolander again, just trying to make up as much as he can, as early as he can, running that bottom where it looks like a lot of people are like they're running the bottom, but more than not, a lot of these cars are running the middle and the top. I don't know if that momentum trying to carry on the bottom of the exit, you know, on some of these tracks where you run the bottom and you're having to crank the wheel quite a bit to stay off the car on the outside, it kind of creates a tight condition initially, but then a lot of these cars like to snap loose on exit. We have seen quite a few of these guys get loose already tonight.
The other thing I'm noticing is, once again, you got drivers that are going single file, so the draft effect is so great. Oh, the 988's around. It's a huge wreck, T-Bone City with the 73 of case of beer. Look out, everybody else. Oh, Jay Stinson's in the grass further on up. It looks like Danny Sanchez may have tagged him. Oh my goodness, that was a huge wreck down in the turn 1. Saw Patrick Calgill and Kyle Anat. That's where it started, right at the race lead. See how many guys got involved in this one.
Oh, horrible cameras. Oh, the thing's going to be right in the way. Before I even go further,
I wonder if this was just like a bad block that happened.
We'll go full speed from right here.
Oh wow! What a tough break right there, because that is completely netcode.
Yeah, and we have seen it so many times this season already. In any other car, this move would have been perfectly fine and it wouldn't have even done anything. But
look at that! It digs the left rear into the ground on the 988.
Like, that is a perfectly legitimate move in any other car except this one, I guess, which is unfortunate because we've seen so many things happen to so many people the last 4 weeks that yeah, it's a bummer. It's going to be a long season, I think, Joe.
Yeah, well, not going to be a long night, I think, for Lanat. He's right now in the pits. I think he went there early. Same with Zach Hellman. Those are 2 cars I'm seeing already that were in the pits beforehand. I got a bunch of other guys coming down that definitely got involved in this. You can see the front end of Casebeer's car is very caved in. I know the 62 and the 18 had a little bit of contact right there, catching up, trying to slow up for that wreck. Looks like Jay was able to stay out. No damage to that car. So good break for him, avoiding that wreck. Who else we got down here? We got Zabak. I think he got caught up. Zach Hillman had a huge hit in the outside wall. The 2 biggest hits from this wreck were Kyle Lanat and Zach Hillman by far.
Yeah, Lanat shown a black flag. Hillman shown a meatball. Definitely some unfortunate scenarios. It's kind of the same thing that happened to Lynott last week. Caught up in a few early incidents, and then he just could not ever recover from that. And I really wish that. Oh, let's see. Kevin Kyle, it looks like maybe took tires as one of our pit takers this round.
Wonder if he maybe is just fixing damage again and it's just kind of showing tires, because I think he was a little bit involved in that wreck. Sanchez, Matthews as well, getting some damage fixed. And then, of course, Kyle and Zach Hillman still on pit road along with Jonathan Casabier. And, as they say, one man's trash is another man's treasure. Steve Lewis gets back on the lead lap after starting from pit road and going 2 laps down. Going to get back on the lead lap here. Looks like he's being scored in 16th. I'm sure he's going to probably fall to 19th due to the EOL for the Lucky Dog. I do see a lot of cars rolling out on track now there, buddy. Looks like Lynott should be rolling again, I believe, and Graham McGivern's rolling on track again as well. So Zach Hillman's the only one left on pit road.
Yeah, Lynott's moving again. I don't know. I'm sure Hillman probably has quite a bit of damage from the incident there. So hopefully he's able to get it all squared away and get back out.
Sports cameras, baby, on pit road. My favorite. You know what we did see last week, though, if you remember, Kevin Kyle had a meatball, and we thought his race was over. Like, he couldn't go back out there. He ended up going back out. I think he was, 15 laps down, I think, when he was able to roll again. So it does seem like it's possible in this car to come back from a meatball, unlike other cars. So we'll have to wait and see if Hillman's able to get that thing fixed up and maybe salvage some points out of today's race. Graham McGivern, like I said, got back out there on this run as well. Pace car's about to duck off. Patrick Calgill, your new race leader, with Zach Panzarella to his outside. You got Michael Mata in the second row with Brandon Lawless, and great jump by Calgill right there. Shot out of a cannon, gets clear of everybody by multiple car lengths. And look at that. You can see now Michael Mata trying to get to the inside of Panzarella, going to try and go along with Calgill into turn number 1. Behind him, you can see Justin Parham's going to flip the script on being in the back early for that bad qualifying effort, and then taking fuel on that pit stop. He's flipped it back into his favor. Now up front, you can see Andrew Bolander there. Ken Redinger coming back into the picture as well. All these boys chasing Patrick Calgill.
One thing I was noticing there on the backstretch is just how... Oh, hold on to it. Just how dominant the draft is. Like, even the little bit of... It is almost like a mini super speedway. Seeing all these cars draft, bump draft, all that stuff. The what you see at Atlanta or whatever now, or maybe like a smaller version, just a slightly smaller version of Talladega or Daytona, because I believe Auto Club's a 2-mile track, right?
Yeah, so Auto Club is 2 miles. So it's a little bit smaller than... It's the same size as Michigan, pretty much. So you would expect Michigan to kind of drive the same way. Back up front, though, look at this new leader, Michael Mata, and here comes Parham to the inside, gonna immediately try and go for that race lead. And we're seeing what we saw at Vegas, buddy, that guys are able to generate those runs around the track, and then they're gonna try and do those slide job moves. It looks like Parham's gonna clear, and now it's gonna be a up and under move for Mata down the back stretch. Here comes Ken Redinger to give his teammate a push down the back. And it looks like the advantage is going to go to the outside into turn 3. You can see Bolander and Panzarella trying to stick with them here as well. Mata with the slide job. He's going to get clear up on the 19 of Parham. Now going to go back down low. Very interesting right there. Not going to stay on the high side, but he will lead this lap. Completion of lap number 17, start of 18. We're almost halfway through the stage. And, man, the whole field is under a blanket right here.
They are. They're right here trying to comprehend everything happening and getting a little bit nervous from the netcode stuff we've seen. Everyone jockeying left and right, trying to find some room to put their car. Especially further back here, not too much further, kind of like the mid-pack, not super far to the tail end of the, we're almost 4 wide there for a second across start-finish line back here with Chris Cowgill and them.
Yeah, you would think they're trying to chill in the back of the group, but they're trying to get as many spots as they can. So aggressive racing throughout this whole lead group. You can see back up front Parham get back to the outside of Michael Mata right here. It's pretty much the same line. Actually, now we're backwards. So now we got Ken Redinger pushing Mata, and we got Patrick Cowgill pushing Parham. Now you're going to see Ken going to try and maybe take it 3 wide down into turn number 3. Out of 4, it looks like Patrick Cowgill is going to be the one to take it 3 wide to try and take second. He's going to have the momentum and the most draft on the outside. You can see Zach Panzarella trying to push Ken Redinger as far out as he can to keep that momentum on the bottom, but it's not going to work. It's going to help Patrick Cowgill clear into second place right there and now try and make his run back at the race lead. But look at that. I mean, I know Ken doesn't really have too much help on the inside, but wrapping that bottom, if he just had a little bit more draft help on the bottom, he could really get that rolling.
Yeah, I think so. I'm sure some of these guys, like we're 20 laps in, halfway to the stage here.
Very disturbing.
People might be starting to feel the effects of the tire wear a little bit, getting tight. It wouldn't be shocking to see more. Oh, hold on to it. They almost crashed right at the very front.
Yeah, they're 3 wide right there. Look at that. Yeah, Bolander going to stick it up the middle right there. Michael Mata and Panzarella had a moment that's going to really shuffle up this group. I did see a car that turned into a modified go down pit road, so I think there may have been something that happened because Finnegan's down there right now. I see it looks like Lawless is down there, Lynott and Hillman all down on pit road right now, so something is going on with those boys.
Make sure we don't go to caution. I'll go back and see. I think I found it. I'll just do it full speed here.
Oh no. Yeah, they wreck off the track, so that's why there was no caution. Oh my goodness. Those are 2 massive hits into the inside wall.
Yeah, definitely no caution there for those being off the racing surface, so. Looks like Parham was able to take over the lead while we were doing all that. Cowgill's still running second. Him. 3 wide for second here. Oh man. I think all these
chaotic.
Like, this is what we're accustomed to seeing at Auto Club though. Everyone running numerous different lines. The track is so wide and it's really multi-groove track. Like you can kind of run wherever you want as the 20s looking under Panzarella going to make it, going to get tied up in the Mata. Or what is that case of beer? What the heck is that? Maybe it was Fritz. Too many white and red cars.
Everybody's on top of each other right here in this lead group. Justin Parham continues to lead here on lap 24. We're just over halfway in the stage. We're going to have 16 to go when we complete this lap, this time by in the stage. Remember, no caution for it. So these boys are going to be racing hard to be to the front of the group. Right there, you can see 3 wide. Here comes the 12 of Panzarella again to the inside. Fritz going to get tight on the outside. Oh, my goodness. Man, Buddy, they're everywhere.
Yeah, there's nowhere to go. It is exactly 100% super speedway racing. And these tires wearing in, we're getting closer or longer on these tires. People are going to have to start getting, I wouldn't say necessarily aggressive, but we're kind of seeing it already where you kind of have to send it in the entry to try to slide job to make it pass, especially with all the cars that have migrated up to the top and taken that lane away. So you're kind of left with a Danny Sanchez tries it, and almost ends really bad. Oh,
it's
no.
gonna end bad. It's only gonna be a 1-car spin though, so that's gonna be the lucky part. Oh no, they're wrecking further.
Who is that? I'm trying to find. Is it Casavir? No, he's back here.
It was.
Mata,
I saw it started with Kevin Kyle, and it's Kevin Kyle and Danny Sanchez, and then Mata. I saw him backwards as well. Insane. I don't know what happened to Mata right there, but the wreck started. It looked like they were 4 wide, and then netcode most likely, I think, on the quick hits looked like what started the wreck back here.
This is a great. I don't know if it's going to be a good camera or not. Nope. Not a good camera. We'll go backwards and I'll just do my.
Something's going on under caution.
Uh-oh. So yeah, Kevin Kyle on the bottom. They're 4 wide. And it's just these cars are hitting before they're actually hitting.
Yep.
So that was Danny Sanchez, but there was something that happened further up. I don't know. Oh, there it is.
What happened?
Here it is.
Jay Stinson, like, I don't know. Did he get it from behind? Or.
Oh, shoot. I lost it.
Oh, no. Let's see if I can find it on my feed.
Yeah, I don't. I accidentally hit the live button instead of the slow-mo button.
Let's roll it back, right? Oh my. What happened there? So coming out of the corner, we're coming down the front stretch, and that is the strangest thing.
More netcode problems.
I don't know. Like Stinson's car reacted like it looks like it reacted like it got hit because it got way out of shape for like no discernible reason in the restart zone. And yeah, this has to be netcode because they're so far apart, and Jay's car is acting like it's getting hit.
Yeah.
And I swear, like, there is a massive gap between these cars, and that car is acting like it's getting hit, and then they get sucked together and they drive down through the grass. That is the strangest thing I've ever seen on iRacing in terms of something causing a wreck. Like, I don't think I've ever seen that before. It's so weird looking. Because, like, it looks like he gets hit, but, like, they're not even close to, like, there's a half a car width in between them, and Jay just gets completely out of shape like he got hit, and then they get sucked together and they both go through the grass. I've never seen anything like that before.
Yeah, it sucks so bad that these guys are having to deal with issues like that. So Kevin Kyle came back down pit road. Looks like I don't know if he had more damage to fix or what, but he came down from 2nd position. Danny Sanchez is currently scored as leader with Cody Matthews in 2nd, Justin Parham in 3rd, Patrick Cowgill in 4th. So we have had a little bit of a shakeup here at the front of the field. Parham, Cowgill, Redinger, Mata, they've all been up there, but we're starting to get some new names up here. Michael Wolf moved his way up into the top 10. Chris Cowgill also up into the top 10.
And you know who's going to be the biggest cheerleader for more cautions is going to be Graham McGivern, because he just got one of those 4 laps back. He's now being scored 3 down. So Graham right now in the position to keep getting more lucky dogs, but he's going to be a cheerleader for some cautions here. Getting ready to go back racing. Pace car should be pulling off right here, right now. Danny Sanchez is going to lead them into the restart zone. Cody Matthews to his outside. Behind them going to be pushing Justin Parham on the inside. Patrick Cowgill on the outside. Great jump for Sanchez here. Going to get clear of everybody across the start-finish line. Cody Matthews going to try and hold on to 2nd. Doesn't have any help from behind. Mata going to give a good push to the 19 of Parham into 1. It's going to help him get clear. Mata going to try and dive to the inside immediately for second. 3 wide behind them as here comes Ken Redinger up the middle. And I think this is going to be the difference in what guys did tire strategy-wise here, buddy.
Calgill really uneasy there on the backstretch, being pushed by the 67. Kind of had him a little bit bent out of shape. I thought they were all going to crash right there on the straightaway.
We're 3 wide, 2 rows deep right now. Oh, we're almost in together.
Don't crash.
They're able to save it. We're 4 wide now across the start-finish line, and Ken Redinger wants nothing to do with that. He's going to back out of it. I think a car just is blinking everywhere. That's Michael Wolf having trouble blinking, and it looks like he may have messed up Zach Panzarella's entry into the corner. Cody Matthews going to get tight coming out of 2, and it's going to create another potential 4 wide situation down the back stretch into turn 3. Here we go into 3. We're almost 4. We're definitely 3. Cody Matthews trying to get control. I think he's on 2 tires though. Same with Danny Sanchez. And look at those 2. They're dropping through the field. We got the 03 around off the nose of the 20. Christopher Calgill goes for a spin through the grass off the nose of Michael Wolf, and that is going to be our 4th caution of the day.
You know, the good thing is I don't think, Chris, no one hit him. He shouldn't have any damage or anything like that, but we'll go back and see. Kind of sad Joe. Because
Look at his. I love looking at Chris's reaction right there. He's just like, yeah, it was whatever. I'm going to come back I'll just come down the pits. I guess maybe I'll put tires on and I'll come back around and get back up there. I mean, is this.
I don't think this is going to be it. No, I don't think so. I think the 20 drifted up and maybe thinking Chris was going to be a little bit higher.
Yeah, it looks like Chris is trying to peek on Sanchez, right?
Yeah, like they actually made contact before the car spun, so there wasn't like a 6-foot gap or something between them that time. So we finally have an accident that's not attributed to netcode.
Chris Calgill not even going to pit. He don't even care. I don't need new tires. These tires are warmed up now. They're primed and ready to roll. Some of those guys that took 2 tires, I did see them come down. So Danny Sanchez is immediately going to jump off that strategy. Fell through the field there. We saw the 10 of Cody Matthews also falling through the field, and he does not pit. So I would expect to see the left side go up on the 62 right there. Right now, a little housekeeping. Looks like Zach Hillman is officially out of the race. We do have a couple boys down on pit road. I'm seeing Brandon Lawless, Jordan Finnegan, I think are still both down in the pits. And then we got Kyle Lynott. He's 7 laps down to 19th. And Graham McGivern, the biggest cheerleader for the caution flags, is going to get another one back. He's now 2 down in 18th. So Graham, after being involved in the first caution, took a serious hit trying to avoid the 62 of Danny Sanchez. But, you know, we're not even to halfway yet in this race. And if Graham could just catch 2 more cautions, he's right back in this thing.
Oh, yeah, right back in it. You know, his night's far, far from over. You just keep your head down and keep going, and hopefully, like, you don't want to be the caution and you don't want to be involved in the caution, but you want everyone around you to pretty much have the worst luck they can have to get you back on the lead lap, then everything can level out. Definitely 2 sides to the coin there.
No. Listen. All Graham needs is a couple of these little single car spins to keep happening. He just needs 2 more of them, and he'll be in good shape. That's all Graham's rooting for. That's not so bad as long as you don't pick up damage or anything. You just kind of get shuffled to the back and then restart. Yeah, that's all Graham wants. Graham had a great run last night in the Big Truck and Tuesday series. I believe he got a top 10 out of it, if I'm not mistaken. Also sponsored that race last night. The Speedy Brit gonna hope that this race keeps going in his favor to get back on that lead lap. Looked like he had some good speed early on in practice as well as in qualifying. So if we get him back on the lead lap, watch out for that 33 car. But right now, Patrick Cowgill been controlling this race on pretty much every restart. Justin Parham was able to lead a lot of laps there in between restarts. And then you can see Mata going to be pushing the 31 of Cowgill this time. And then you got teammates on the outside, Parham and Fritz in that second row right there. You can see in the third row, we're going to have Bolander going to start alongside Michael Wolf, Ken Renninger, and Zach Panzarella. Jay Stinson, Cody Matthews rounding out your top 10 right now. As we get ready for the pace car to pull off, we're going to be completing the end of lap 33, start of 34. There's only going to be 7 laps left in the stage when we go green. Pace car is off, and here we go. Patrick Cowgill locked in, ready to get into the restart zone and take off again. There he goes. Great jump for the inside line right there. Patrick Cowgill going to get clear of everybody. Side by side for second place between Michael Mata and Justin Parham. Parham trying to get some help from his teammate of Fritz. Bolander looking to push that 91 clear on the inside. They're going to be in a drag race down through turns 1 and 2. This is the greatest thing that Patrick Cowgill wants to see, is these two racing each other hard for that second spot, because it gives them a chance to potentially break away. Guys trying to sneak into line, not able to do it. Everybody keeps it straight though, and the drag race is on now for third as Mata gets tight. And here comes Bolander up the inside, going to take it 3 wide and pull the double slide job up to third. 6 to go in the stage.
Yeah, he pulled the, what is that, the 2?
Oh, we're wrecking again. Fritz into the 91 and the 42, and it's a huge hit into Cody Matthews. Massive wreck.
That was a huge, massive one. I think that broke Redinger, that broke Sand.
Steve Lewis and Redinger down there wrecked. Sounds like it was a really bad side draft with potentially either. Yeah, you can see they're already way too close for some side. Yeah, that is.
Let's go. Who is that? The 91 right here.
Yeah, looking at this. Let's see. Yeah, it's the same thing with the net code. And
yeah, that's
something happened under caution. I see Kyle Lanott's backwards on the track. So we got something going on there.
Let's see. Where's Mr. Lanott? Wonder if I can go backwards manually and find it. I'm not sure.
Talking about how everybody's aware of the netcode situation right here. That's a huge wreck. Stage is going to be called right here, so that's going to completely mess up your data again. So
ignore all the. I'm going to take the points out because I need to test it. I never had the opportunity.
Honestly, no idea how the stage is going to be scored here, so we're going to have to go back and see what happens later. There's still chaos going on back here. People trying to sort out where they are. '91 is destroyed.
That's a tough break for the 91. It's also a tough break for Redinger.
Yeah, Redinger had great speed again. I don't even see him out here anymore. It looks like he's out.
Yeah, he plowed into that wall a ton.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch this back for myself. I mean, we just saw it on the broadcast, but this is such a double-edged sword, right? You know, we got 7 to go in the stage, coming to 6.
Yeah.
So I understand trying to side draft hard, but I mean, we're not coming down for the race win. And, you know, we got to be aware of these netcode issues right there. And unfortunately, that's a huge hit. I mean, Cody Matthews' car is probably destroyed too, to be fair from this. That may also have destroyed the 62 of Danny Sanchez. If we look on back, Let's see. Steve Lewis gives a little bump to Michael Mata, and then Mata's destroyed and comes up across Steve Lewis's nose, and that's where he gets more damage. Oh my goodness, that's just a mess. After the wreck started, it just wouldn't stop. Pretty much, that is a tough break for a lot of guys. I think Steve Lewis may have gotten away with it. Ken Renninger certainly didn't get away with it. Cody Matthews certainly didn't get away with it either, as his car is destroyed on pit road. Who else are we looking for out there?
Yeah, Cody Matthews. Sanchez has been coming in and out of pits getting damage fixed. I'm not sure what the black flag he got whenever he came in the pits this last time was for, but...
Yeah, there's a lot of chaos going on with getting lined up in the right spot, pretty much. So you got Mata down there getting damage fixed. You got Sanchez down there getting damage fixed. There's so many different things going on.
Damage fixed. Just kind of sitting there in the car.
Yeah, there's go back to that for a second. That is yeah. This is the typical view of somebody that's just, hey, there he goes. He's back in it. That's the typical view of I feel like that's how I look if I end up like having to sit there. I'm just like, well, I guess I'm just gonna sit here and wait till I can roll again.
He's a trooper though, because he sat there and he was in the pits for almost 20 minutes.
Yeah, and you know what else? Sitting down there for so long, he's gonna have the ability to make up. All he's got to do is just cruise around the track, and he should make up 4 or 5 spots. Here comes the pace car down in the pits. We're gonna have another restart here with Patrick Calgill in control. Bolander going to be pushing on him this time. Jay Stinson gives Bolander a push that gets the 31 going good. Patrick Calgill gets cleared by multiple car lengths again. Bolander is going to get some help there with Stinson's push to get to the inside of Parham. Going down into turn 1, these guys starting to fan out a little bit. Field's starting to get a little bit thin around here in the mid-pack, so a lot more space to be able to work around right here and a lot more single file racing.
Oh, hold on. I gotta fix your thing. God bless America. Okay, now try.
All right. Well,
sweet.
All right, now you guys can hear me. Okay, so we just had another caution. That was caution number 5, I believe, of the night. And you know what? I know there's no sponsor for it, but I got to do it. We're just at that point where I got to do it. I just got to hit the button. Just got to hit the air horn at this point, because it's been one of those nights with this race. Unbelievable. Another netcode wreck right there. I think I'm going to start hitting the air horn every time we have a netcode wreck. This time, looks like Steve Lewis got turned by Michael Wolf, and another ridiculous netcode wreck. Looks like we got Graham McGivern back on the lead lap after this one. So Graham is back in it, baby. He's in 14th. He has survived. He's back in it with 40 to go. I mean, I'm rooting for it. If there's still a lot of damage to this car now that I look, I was my optimism and my happiness just kind of got muted a little bit, but I am gonna watch and see how much of this car gets fixed up here, because if Graham could get this thing fixed up, I am gonna be so happy. I'm rooting for him. This would be the greatest comeback story of the season if he's able to get a great finish out of this. Which right now he's in position. I mean, if he can get the thing fixed and he can keep up in the draft, oh boy, he may get a great fit. 4 laps down, buddy. He was 4 down.
I see Kevin Kyle has made his way up to first after starting 21st.
Yeah, Kevin Kyle, though, is only got 1 set of tires left, so that's why he stayed out here. I just heard that on the radio. It looks like Looks like Graham got a little bit more fixed up. That front end is just a little messed up.
Yeah, it was a little crinkled there on the, just right there where
The right rear is a little messed up too. We saw this on Monday at Auto Club in the next gen. The slightest amount of damage just took away so much speed. Not sure if the same is going to happen in the Gen 6 here. We'll find out. But Kevin Kyle is going to be on older tires at the front because he couldn't pit here. It's going to put Patrick Cowgill to his inside as Kevin takes the outside. Very interesting. We're going to see Justin Parham pushing Patrick Cowgill on the inside. We're going to see Jonathan Casabier pushing Kevin Kyle on the outside. 14 cars still being scored on the lead lap. No harm, no foul for the two guys involved in the net code. Steve Lewis is in 12th, 7th place for Michael Wolf. Those two still going strong on the lead lap. I didn't see much damage, if at all, to either of those cars. Danny Sanchez, the next guy in line to start making up laps. He's got a lot of damage, but he's 2 laps down, so if he can get back in this, he'll be fine. Cody Matthews is rolling again, and he has no front end on his car, so that's interesting. I did see Michael Mata DNF'd out of the race there as well, so that's somebody else to keep in mind.
Cody Matthews out here modifying it a little bit.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy to see. Get ready to go back racing right here. Gonna see that pace car make that left-hand turn once again down into the pits. And Kevin Kyle gonna be leading on older tires this time. Gonna have 37 laps remaining when we go back racing here at Auto Club. And Kevin Kyle gets an amazing restart right here. Pulls away by many, many car lengths. And it's gonna leave Patrick Cowgill, Jonathan Casabier in the dust. However, Cowgill gonna get some help from Parham on the inside. It's gonna help him start closing back in on Kevin. But Kevin Kyle gonna get clear on those old tires, lead through turns 1 and 2, but I think Patrick's going to have the advantage here coming out of 2, going to make the momentum down the backstretch to the inside, going to be side by side for that race lead. Justin Parham going to follow him on the inside down into turn number 3. Kevin Kyle going to try and hold the outside, not able to do anything on those older tires though to hold off these boys. He's going to have to try his best to stay up in this lead group. As you can see now, Patrick Cowgill back to the race lead over Justin Parham.
Yeah, Kevin Kyle moving backwards a little bit. Cowgill Parham able to kind of pull out of a little bit of a lead ahead of Kevin Kyle. That he's just trying to stop the bleeding as best as he can. Casabier kind of almost gets enough ahead in front of Kyle to kind of slide up in there, but not quite enough. Bolander back there behind.
Here we go, 3 wide. Kevin going to back out of it, let those two go. He doesn't want anything to do with it. So now they're side by side for 4th place right there. And you can see everybody getting single file. But Justin Parham got around Patrick Cowgill for the race lead right there. So swap of the race lead as those two now going to battle again side by side. Here goes Cowgill back to the inside, going to try and take the race lead back. This is allowing Jonathan Casabier to get a run on both of them. Let's see what he decides to do. Is he going to try and push or take it 3 wide? It looks like right now he's going to stay in line behind the 19 of Parham, but Cowgill with the run on the inside. Going to need some help, though, with some draft if he wants to make that work as the sparks continue to fly here at Auto Club.
Yeah, side by side, 34 laps to go, 2 by 2. Bolander going to look to the inside. I don't think Bolander... No, he's not going to try to dive it in there on the inside on Cowgill and put him 3 wide. Parham should be able to have the momentum on the outside here unless Cowgill just gets an excellent run off the bottom. But it looks like Casabier is able to push Parham a little bit to keep that advantage down the back stretch to the outside lane.
Geyer got really loose out of turn 2. He's able to save it, but he's going to drop further back in this pack, as 6 cars have really become the main focus here at the front of the field. Everybody looks like they're going high. Patrick Cowgill going to be odd man out here, going to get help from maybe Michael Wolf here down in the turn 1, but he's a little far back. You can see now Jonathan Casabier in the middle of this battle for the race lead, and Michael Wolf trying to work his way forward as well. Going to get a push from the 18 of Jay Stinson down the backstretch, but it's not going to help him that much there. lost too much momentum coming out of that corner. And here we go down into turn number 3, diving down low. There goes Jonathan Casabier trying to take the race lead. Gonna get tight, gonna try and finish the pass, not able to get it done. The drag race at the line gonna be won by Justin Parham this time. 32 laps remaining.
Michael Wolf's still on that inside. Now, you know, I raced with Michael Wolf on Monday nights, and he's told me before how much he likes that bottom line pretty much on any track there is. So it's not surprising to me to see him down there. I think a couple Mondays ago when we ran this track in the next gen, he was saying especially this track, that bottom line being his preferred place instead of the middle or the top like some of these other guys. Is Cowgill
starting to get shuffled.
Yeah, starting to move back a little bit. Bolander whoop. Stinson able to get to the outside. Panzarella right there behind Cowgill as well. So this was a group of 6 cars, and now it's like a group of 10, I think. Like the top 10 are all right here.
Yeah, they're all under a blanket, pretty much a second separating everybody in the top 10 right now. So Kevin Kyle, even though he's on older tires, been able to cling on to the tail end of this group in 10th. So right now, even though he only has 1 set left, he's still sitting in a pretty good spot if there was another caution here before the end of this race. Laps are starting to tick away. Only 30 laps remaining. Got to try and set yourself up with some moves at this point. If we're able to keep this thing green, I think we might see tire wear come into play for the first time tonight, buddy.
Yeah, I think so. About 35 laps or so. I think about 5-6 laps ago is where they went back green. So there's enough laps left in the race to be able to see or to definitely see the effects of tire wear come into place towards the end. And then I think it's going to be who took care of their stuff better than the other guy, especially with no one really able to get any separation. Here's Casebeer looking to the inside of Parham again to take over the race lead. But just can't get separated, and they're staying under a blanket. And I think if it goes green from here, it is going to be whoever has taken care of their tires the best on this field run.
That was an aggressive clear from Casabier, and Justin Parham got really loose at it too as well. Justin going to try and return the favor right here with his own slide job and going to be just as aggressive with the clear. And now you got Casabier going to try and dive back to the inside and do the same thing back. These two are in a heated battle. Here comes Cowgill, though, going to give him a push down into 1. Parham going to have a little bit more momentum than Casabier this time. I don't think Jonathan going to be able to do that same slide job again. No, he's not. He's going to actually lose momentum at it too. This may open up an opportunity for Patrick to try and dive to his inside. They're coming up on the really slow car of Cody Matthews, and they're, oh my goodness. Okay. All right.
Oh, man.
That is,
I don't know if the camera angle made it worse than what it actually was, but I thought there was going to be a front bumper to back bumper incident.
It was really bad. I don't know if they were expecting him to be up there or not. Not sure if maybe something was lost in translation. Let me double check and make sure I can still hear voice audio. Yeah, I can. So there was nothing said across the chat there. So that probably
the inside gets tight, has come off going to lose a little bit of momentum that he had built up to the inside of Bolander and Stinson. Just wasn't able to. It's one of those tracks where we've seen it at the front with Parham and Casabier having to do slide job after slide job to try to get an advantage. And that bottom line, if that top car just is able to stick right there, you're kind of stuck to having to come out of the throttle if you're trying to slide job and you're not clear. Or I guess you could make yourself clear and cause a wreck, but none of us like that.
No, it's really just become trying to be in that outside lane at all times right here. And now Casabier is going to be trapped on the inside. All the momentum to the outside. You know who I'm watching is Jay Stinson. Jay was about the 6th or 7th car in line there about 5 laps ago. And he's just been quietly following Cowgill, just waiting to make his move. Waiting watching everybody go down low, try and make their move on the race leader, and slowly moving up through the field. Now he's up to third. I'm almost going to imagine that he'd probably stick with his teammate if Calgill tried to make a move for the race lead here, and that would put him to second, and then just try and sit there and maybe wait until the end of the race. At least that's the way I would play it. Is I'd want to be, if I'm trying to set up a pass on the race leader, I want to be the second car in line on the outside. You can see Jay going to try and do that slide job and try and clear him right here in order to be that second car in line. See if he's able to get it done. I think Calgill's going to get that run on the outside, but that's usually the strategy I like to employ in this scenario. If I'm not leading the race, I want to try and be that second car in line, and I want to be on the outside. So if I really have the ability to, I can make that really aggressive slide job on the last lap or two.
You can kind of see how bad that bottom line hurts where you can't use all the track on the exit. We'll see Calgill, he'll just all the momentum on the outside, just leaving Jay behind. And Jay tried to look to the inside of Calgill a couple laps ago, and that has kind of opened the door to all these other people running the outside. And it's just, right now, Jay's moving in the wrong direction that he wants to be. As they're bobbing and weaving again, Michael Wolf there.
This is getting dicey. Business is picking up, buddy.
The one thing that I know Jay was trying to get around Calgill, and now he's going to have to be kind of aggressive as he gets back up to the door of Panzarella. But you can see the difference in momentum here between those guys running the outside and Jay running the inside. There's just so much momentum on the top side, and what that has actually done, it put Panzarella and Calgill together here nose to tail, and it's actually separated Jay and Parham by 3 cars.
Well, now Zach is to the inside with Jay, so the plot thickens here on what's going on. Zach is going to dive it way down there on the bottom and try and... is he going to try the slide job here on... Oh, my... Look at the run that Zach got there, but he's going to get loose at it, too, and lose all that momentum. It's going to allow Patrick Calgill and Jonathan Casebeer to get clear. Gets a big push from Jay Stinson into turn 3. Not able to do anything with it, though. And now you got Jonathan Casebeer peaking 3. Look at that, though. Zach has got some serious mojo going on that bottom.
Yeah, he's able to make it work a little bit better than Jay was able to. Jay's
almost
still trying to...
Tonight.
Yeah, he's still down there trying to make it work, but he's kind of trapped 3 wide here with Wolf, Casebeer, and himself. Looks like they're going to be able to funnel back to 2 wide.
Kevin Kyle's still at the tail end of this group. I mean, you know, buddy, if everybody in front of you uses up their tires a lot, and he knew he was on older tires, right? Kevin knows he's on older tires. If he just sits back and lays back in this group and just chills out, you know, he could flip the tire advantage, the tire disadvantage into a tire advantage for himself if these guys continue to race as hard as they are in front of him.
Oh, he absolutely could, because you know, like whenever these guys trying to make the passes on the inside, they're absolutely sending it. Oh man, they're absolutely sending it, trying to make those slide jobs work and trying to keep the car under control. Whenever you do that, you're not necessarily saving your right front tire at all, because you're kind of leaning on that right front tire instead of the brakes to make your slide job work and all that stuff. So a lot of these people, guys that have been trying to do these, I mean, they could be hurting their tires way worse than Kevin Kyle has, even with the older tires that Kevin Kyle's on, or the tire disadvantage that Kevin Kyle has.
Exactly.
I think
and
some shenanigans like that. It made sense why I was thinking about it, but it didn't really make sense why I was saying it.
The one thing I've noticed, though, is either A, you have to set up like a really aggressive slide job if you want to make a pass for the race lead, or B, you have to find a way to get to the right rear and slow up that lead car and get to his outside. Those are the only two ways you're going to be able to make a move for the race lead. Here we go. Patrick's going to do it right on cue. He's going to go into turn 1 and try and go for the aggressive slider. And actually, Parham's going to try and outdrive him on the outside. I think he's going to be able to re-clear. They're almost all in the wall. Stinson's in the wall. They're 3 wide now behind Jay, just outside the top 5. It's going to allow Michael Wolf to get on by Zach Panzarella and Kevin Kyle. So now Michael Wolf trying to work his way back forward. Now you got Bolander trying to make moves on the inside. Guys stacking up on the outside. Case Stinson in the wall a little bit again out of 4, but not that bad that time. And, man, the moves are going to get more and more aggressive as the laps continue to wind down. 17 laps remaining. Here we go. Bolander now going to try and do that dive bomb and try and do the slide job. It looks like he's going to get only equal with Parham. Justin is doing a great job of managing his speed, but it looks like he got loose on exit, and it's going to allow Bolander to just barely clear for the race lead. And now the outside is completely stacked up into turn 3. Now you got Parham's going to try and get back to the outside of Bolander. Bolander pretty vulnerable right there, but he's going to actually pull a car length there running the inside. Wonder if the inside in clean air is better than running the outside, but look at this huge run that Justin has. He's going to try and go for his own slide job. Down into 1. Oh boy, almost contact between the two of them. 81 of Bolander into the wall, and it's going to allow Parham to clear back to the race lead. But here we go. Back to the inside comes Andrew Bolander. He's not done yet. Drag race down the backstretch. Bolander going to try and make the same move back on the inside into turn number 3. Looks like Parham's going to come down a little bit further than he has in previous attempts down in 3 and 4. Try and maybe do some side drafting on the 81. And the run's going to be on the outside right here with Cowgill giving a push to Parham into turn 1. 15 laps left, and my goodness, we are seeing this race really get interesting here for the race lead. Parham loses it for a lap and then gets it immediately back.
One thing that I like that Parham did was whenever he ran a little bit lower, he kind of took away the ability for Bolander to kind of send it in there in the middle of the corner because he didn't really have a lot of room to drift up. And you can see how, like we saw what happened, it kind of took that momentum of the bottom away. Bolander had to be mindful of Parham being up there, and it really...
Here we go again.
Like we have Bolander going,
oh my God,
oh, they didn't do it that time.
No,
oh,
Cody Matthews, I don't understand what's going on there. But it's almost allowed Casimir to get to the race lead. Okay. Well, we almost had a huge wreck, but we survived.
Patrick clipped Matthews a little bit, so hopefully that didn't damage Patrick too bad. It don't look like there's any damage, but
yeah, his car looks fine. I mean, it looks really fine when he almost gets into the left rear of the 19 right there. Oh my goodness. Oh, and now they're up on another lap car. They're all wrecking. They're all wrecking. There goes the 19. Oh my, wow.
Oh,
you know?
Man, oh man.
You know, buddy, when they say lap cars may play a factor, this is not what they meant. That is, wowie.
Oh, no.
I mean...
And the lap car didn't do anything wrong. Like, it's not... I just, like, the 78 held his line the whole time. He's just right up there against the wall. And minding his own business. Oh, netcode.
And netcode started it to make it even worse.
It picked him up getting hit before he was even almost hit.
You know, buddy, I want to have a discussion about this.
Yeah.
About lap cars, right? So, you know, I know we're always talking about how they should, stick their lines or whatever. But, in some cases, I feel like if you're that far off the pace, and you know the leaders are running that line, that you would go down to the apron, because I mean, in Finnegan and Cody Matthews' case, they were both in the teens laps down, so it's not like they're trying to fight to stay 1 lap down or 2 laps down like a Danny Sanchez or Greg McGivern earlier in the race. They're just trying to log laps. So I mean, it's kind of a double-edged sword, because you want lap cars to hold their lines, but if you're that far off the pace, you kind of want to make sure that they're giving the line to the leaders, or there's some sort of communication going on across the chat. So
right.
I'd say that's not all. It's not all on either party there. That's on the lead group not communicating with the lap car, and the lap. That's just poor communication in both directions right there on both of those cases. The one with Cody Matthews, and then the one we saw there that actually caused a caution with Jordan Finnegan. I feel like it's because it's been a super speedway race, right, buddy? So,
right.
We're talking about guys, usually when you come up on guys in super speedway races, either the lap car asks which way you want me to go, or the leader is like, hey, can you, keep the outside or the inside clear? And we haven't heard any of that. At least I haven't heard any of that on the chatter here tonight at all.
I know the way that I approach a situation like that. If I'm a lap car and I'm damaged, I'm going to, first of all,
never seen birds before.
If I'm damaged, I'm going to drive my car where it's most comfortable to drive at, and I'm going to wait for someone to tell me if they want me in a different lane. If I'm having trouble controlling my damaged car, I don't want to put myself in a predicament where I lose control of my car because I'm driving a lane that I don't want to drive in anymore. But I do agree with, like, the super speedway etiquette is either the lap car asks where the lead lap cars want me, or the lead lap cars say, hey, can you move down, or hey, can you do this or that? And if we're not seeing or hearing that, then yeah, I don't know, just a lack of communication a little bit, like you said, attributed to those last couple incidents.
I was watching my feed over here. I was watching my feed, and for the first time ever, I saw birds flying on my screen. I'm like, ooh, birds, look at that. I've never seen that before.
Marsupius says netcode in this car is actually awful in chat, and we can attest to that from the last 4 weeks. And I don't think either, going back to the lap car deal, if like both of them, no one made like a rate, or oh man, I don't even know how I'm trying to say this.
I mean, everybody's trying to drive like
sides. Yeah, I can see both sides of the argument or the situation. It's just an unfortunate deal.
Yeah.
No one did anything wrong. It was just also no one did anything right.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I was trying to allude to. Is there in many spots along the way that could have been avoided, it just didn't happen that way, unfortunately.
But
the way the race played out,
that sets us up a shootout here.
Yeah, we're gonna have 9 laps left. Michael Wolf is your leader on the outside here for this restart. He's gonna get help from Kevin Kyle. Great jump from both of them on the outside. Michael Wolf gonna get clear, and can Kevin Kyle follow him into turn number 1? Let's see if he can get clear of Patrick Calgill, but Calgill coming back on the inside right there, trying to get some help from behind. You can see Zach Panzarella trying to stick his nose in there. Here we go. Michael Wolf getting tight out of turn 2, gonna back up that outside line. Patrick Calgill, big run down the back. Gonna get help from Zach Panzarella. Right now, though, Michael Wolf gonna continue to lead the race. Man, this is getting absolutely insane. Here we go.
Calgill's sending it. Slight job to perfection. Panzarella up into Kevin Kyle. That stacks up everyone here.
Kevin is not going to be happy about that.
Still trying to wreck.
Oh boy. Yeah, he made sure that Zach knew he wasn't happy with that right there, with a little rub of the door. Almost created a massive wreck right there because of the potential netcode from doing that kind of stuff. But everybody able to sort it out. Michael Wolf hits the wall. Everybody's in the wall out of 2, and it's going to allow Patrick Cowgill to get a little bit clear. But here comes Zach Panzarella with a run. Kevin Kyle trying to follow on the inside. He's going to get clear of Michael Wolf. So now the top 3 back single file. Kevin Kyle's a man on the mission right now. And here comes Justin Parham as well with Andrew Bolander. Those guys are now side by side behind Michael Wolf. Here we go.
Oh.
This is it. Look out.
Slide job.
I don't think he's gonna slide job him.
No. So I've talked to
big contact out of 2. A lot of contact off the wall.
They're still trying to wreck back there between Stinson and bouncing off the wall, stacking that line up a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Justin got tight. He's able to keep it straight, though. Oh, they're going to go 3 wide down the front stretch. Jonathan with no help on the inside. They're going to have to cut back up into line in front of Steve Lewis. Michael Wolf, though, looks to be odd man out. It looks like whatever tires he's on are not driving well at all. Justin Parham going to shoot it up the middle here. Looks like he may get 2 for 1, and he does get clear of both Parham, of both Stinson and Wolf. So Parham now up 2 right there. There's so much going on here, and here goes Parham again. Hugely aggressive.
Oh, it's not
almost
gonna work.
into Kevin. No, big contact between everybody, and they're wrecking.
Bolander.
There it is. Bolander's around. Someone lost their front end. And it came back.
Oh, man. Well.
This is going to be a green-white checkered.
It's going to be
and Danny Sanchez is back on the lead lap. We got another one back.
I think we saw this all coming from a mile away.
I mean, this started way before here. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
So if we go back to where it actually started, I think it started with Parham whenever he went to go to the inside. Because he's behind Bolander here.
Oh, they're wrecking under caution. What the? No, not again.
Sends it and gets tight on the bottom. Netcode pushes Kyle up a little bit. That stacks up everyone and checks up people. And then Bolander, I think Stinson might have got the back bumper of Bolander a little bit in the everyone checking up for this or that.
Yeah, this is like complete chaos at this point. And then
I don't know who that
Zabak,
was.
That was Zabak. He lost his front nose and it came back. And then after the caution is out and they come around, Zabak made contact with Christopher Cowgill under caution. So those two are gonna have a little extra damage than what they had before. I have no idea what's this is just turned into an absolute brawl. Patrick Cowgill is gonna lead over Kevin Kyle, Parham, Panzarella, and Stinson. Those are gonna be your top 5. Jonathan Casabir has survived everything here that's going on up front. He's in 6th. Same with Steve Lewis. He survived everything. He was 2 laps down at one point. He's in my cheerleader group here from being 2 down early. He's up to 7th. Michael Wolf 8th. Matthew Fritz in 9th. And Dalton Guy around out that top 10. Then we got another one of our guys that got so many laps back that I'm rooting for to get a good finish. That's Graham McGivern in 11th. Chris Cowgill 12th, Zabox being scored 13th, Bolander 14th, and Danny Sanchez. Welcome back to the lead lap, buddy. Man,
people able to. These cautions are hurting some people, and it's also helping others. McGivern.
Think we're done wrecking?
He still has. No, I don't think we're done wrecking. Green, white, checkered.
Let's see. So we're gonna hit 1 to green. I think it's gonna be. Let's see. So 3 is gonna be a natural green white checkers. This isn't even gonna count as one of our normal green white checkers, buddy.
Oh, let's do a poll here. Been a while since I've done a poll. We got 11 people watching, so let's see if we get any participation in the poll.
Yeah, because we're gonna come around and complete 83 and go green. So it's gonna be a natural green white checkered. So we're not even using one of our 3 attempts right here.
And the start a poll question is, if I didn't typo, is will we have another caution? I vote yes, and it's going to be at the hands of net code.
Yeah, that is going to be a 100% yes. Okay, so let's see. We got Kevin Kyle, who's mad at Zach. We got Parham, who made a super aggressive move and almost made it work. We got Stinson, who's just been sticking around up front. Patrick Calgill's had this net code thing going on around his car, feels like all night.
And
I mean, what could possibly go wrong?
The one thing that you look at here, too, is Steve Lewis currently running in 7th. So he's back there lurking. As long as he don't get caught up in this next caution that I guarantee is going to happen.
All right, so Patrick's going to control it from the inside with help from Parham. Parham's got Stinson behind him, so I think this inside's going to roll pretty well here, buddy. Here we go into the restart zone. Yep, and as expected, inside rolls incredibly well. You can see Parham going to get clear of even Kevin Kyle before we even get close to turn number 1. I think the inside's got a huge advantage right here. Patrick Calgill going to have to try and take control of this race. The outside trying to get something going. They're 3 wide now for 3rd as they try and get it sorted out. Oh my goodness, Kevin Kyle gets thrown into the wall.
Oh man,
that is a huge hit for Kevin. And it looks like he's going to be able to keep it going straight, but he's got a lot of damage. He's got a meatball on the 1 car, and that is going to be a huge, unfortunate circumstance for the 1 of Kevin Kyle after being up front there at the end of the race. Zach Panzarella lost some time there as well. We're on the white flag. Back up front, Patrick Calgill still leading over Justin Parham. Michael Wolf trying to sneak to the inside of Stinson. These guys going to have to try and set up a move right now. Let's see if Parham's able to build that run down the backstretch. You can see Calgill breaking the draft, going down the back, going into turn number 3. Parham's going to have to try and do that dive move that he did before the caution again. Let's see if he's able to make it stick this time. It doesn't look like it. Calgill's going to get the momentum around the outside, clear back to the race lead, and coming to the start-finish line, Patrick Calgill is going to win here at Auto Club. 2nd place goes to Stinson in a photo finish over Parham. Michael Wolf will come in 4th, and Steve Lewis rounds out your top 5. What a race.
Yeah. I was looking at Panzarella. He didn't fall back as bad as Kevin Kyle did whenever they had that incident.
Kevin Kyle meatball.
Panzarella also had a meatball.
Panzarella looks like I believe they cleared those meatballs there. I'm not really sure because it's not changed the running order.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there, but in either case.
Wow. Patrick Calgill.
What a finish.
So Patrick Calgill goes from heartbreak on lap 1 last week to winning here this week.
Yeah, my heart's broken too, Joe. Because that would have been fun to have all the cameras and stuff going for, and my stuff broke.
Yeah, that is unfortunate, but the part that isn't unfortunate is Patrick Calgill picking up his first win of the season here in race 4, able to hold on there at the end. Man, he had a crazy race there, buddy. It looked like he got caught up in a lot of stuff there up front. Maybe some netcode incidents. Looked like maybe he was going to get damage from the Cody Matthews incident, but was able to survive that. Comes back to win the race. Wow.
Yeah, definitely a exciting one.
Lots of words is Buddy Sallee after this one.
I was trying to think about what I wanted to say. Oh man, I don't think they've updated points yet or not. Or
oh no, that is going to take
that's going to be a hot minute. So I don't know.
I don't know if we're gonna have the points tonight, guys. I'm sorry, but there's gonna be a lot to review after this one.
We'll have to look at the results. Patrick Calgill picks up your win. Jay Stinson 2nd, Justin Parham 3rd, Michael Wolf fourth, Steve Lewis fifth, or rounding out the top five. You know, for missing the start and starting in the pits, Steve Lewis had a really strong race. He wasn't involved in anything crazy, minded his business, and scratches out a top five from it, which is going to help him because he was just below that cut line coming into this race. Zach Panzarella, sixth position. Matthew Fritz, seventh. Jonathan Casevier, eighth. Dalton Geyer, ninth. Chris Cowgill rounding out the top 10. Andrew Bolander, 11th. Danny Sanchez, 12th. Graham McGivern, he was a few laps down, got them all back. Oh, just outside the top 10 there, so he had a decent recovery and finished on a lead lap. Kevin Kyle, 14th. Mark Zabok, 15th. Kyle Anott, 16th. Cody Matthews, 17th. Jordan Finnegan, 18th. And
more boys that
Michael Mata, 19th. Ken Redinger. This is the first time so far this season that he has got the really, really short end of the stick, knocked out early, rounding out your top 20, and then rounding out the field is Brandon Lolis in 21st and Zach Hillman in 22nd.
That was the field from tonight. Waiting to see. It's always tough, like to do interviews. Like, do you pull people out of the team chats if we wanted to do 3, 2, 1? Because the only person in the waiting room right now is your race winner. So we may have to do 1, 2, 3 here tonight.
Let's just do 1, 2, 3.
Just to play it safe. So let's get our.
There's probably some emotions going on still.
Yeah. I want to make sure we don't catch anybody in a bad moment after the chaos of that race. So we'll let them come up. We'll go 1, 2, 3 here tonight. Go a little bit different. So let's pull up our race winner from tonight, if it lets me. There we go. No, okay, there you go. All right, our race winner from tonight, Patrick Calgill. Patrick, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
What a race! Things were so chaotic all night between the net code, all the side drafting. Just walk us through your race tonight.
I was kind of trying to take it easy off of each restart, hoping that would help conserve my tires a little bit. It seemed to be working those first like 5 or 6 restarts, and then towards the end it started to not work in my favor. So I tried a 2-tire stop. I'd say it paid off because I was able to stay in the top 4, and then that last caution came out, took 4 tires, and just never lifted.
We saw that it looked like it was really hard to make passes tonight. Doing it like the normal kind of way. You really had to like throw it in there and go for slide jobs. How much of that changed, like just the way that you played out the race? Because you led some, and then Parham led a little. So like, what was your mindset there? Because it looked like I think it was about 25 to go. You were kind of right behind Parham right there, and you just kind of decided to look like to maybe stick there and wait it out to the end of the race.
Yeah, it was difficult because the car was getting tight on exit, and the amount that I had to let off, I couldn't get the run off the corner to get by him. So I just figured I'd sit behind him and see what happened. And I think a part of it was the netcode issues. I was so scared of wrecking somebody that I didn't want to be too close to them going through the corner. So I would try to purposely not pinch them up against the top of the track, and I think that was what hurt me the most with trying to get by somebody on the inside.
Yeah, so netcode once again playing a factor in the way the race really played out. We definitely saw that tonight. I saw your car actually get involved in a couple of those netcode things.
Yeah, I felt so bad for Kyle. I did not want to wreck him.
Yeah, that was a really bad one there, pretty much right at the start of the race that we saw. We also saw some stuff with some lap cars there. What was really going on there? If you could walk us through those couple of things. Did you get any damage out of any of that?
Well, the one with Cody, I thought we were farther away from him, and then all of a sudden Parham dipped down and he's right there, and I just nailed him. Surprisingly didn't get any damage from it. And then the other one, I think was Finnegan, was on the outside, and I don't know exactly what happened because I didn't see it. I seen
Like
the
netcode.
aftermath in my mirror, but like
It looked like a netcode started the contact.
oh, okay. But yeah, he slammed into my door, and I thought for sure I'd have damage from that, and I didn't have damage from that either. So, luckily I didn't get any damage from anything all night. So,
I know we didn't really have too much of a long run, but how much was there any play of time? I mean, it sounds like there was some play of tire wear because you took 2 instead of 4 at one point. You made it work. Other people, I think, took 2 and it didn't work. So, how much did tire wear really play into your strategy tonight? And how much of an effect was there when there was green flag racing going on?
so I mean, taking the 2 versus taking 4, I don't think it really made a difference because I was able to stay with those guys. Granted, I wasn't able to get back up to the lead that whole run, like I was, when I had fresh tires, but I don't think it made enough of a difference that um, tire wear really played a huge role. I guess. I mean, in the long run, if you had somebody on freshies and somebody on some old tires, it was like a 2-second difference at the end of the run. So I mean, tire wear was going to make a difference, but I think the way things played out tonight, it didn't really make a difference for most of us.
Some really interesting stuff. Thank you for the insight on the way the race really played out for you. Congrats on the win. I want to pass it over to Buddy. See if he's got any more technical questions there to ask you.
Congratulations on the win, Patrick. And I don't really have a question, but I have an apology because all my stuff crashed in the middle of the race. Like the computer blue screen of death on me, all kinds of fun stuff. So unfortunately, there's about 5 laps not accounted for, and for the last half of the race, I couldn't bring the cams back up because I couldn't reset everyone, obviously, and get you guys back in the video room. But that being said, congratulations on the win. And yeah, I have no idea what broke the computer.
It's all good.
It was just running fine, and then it said, no, blue screen. It's been a long time since I've seen a blue screen.
Did the helmet cam still look good though?
Yeah, it did. The first half of the race, all the cameras was fine. You'll be able to go back in and see. And I tried to break it up. Hopefully, I had everyone put in the right name. So if someone sees their camera is listed under a different name, then it is then what's theirs or whatever. I'll have to fix that. But I realize it's really hard when you have a lot of people jumping into a video room to figure out who each person is without knowing what each person looks like. So that was fun, but I have to find a better system to drag people in so that I can keep track of everyone. But I think everyone was assigned to who they needed to be.
I thought there was a way to force people to put their name in.
I'll have to go through the settings and look. Surely there's some way for to do that with like a tag or something. There's got to be something in there to where I can make sure that I have people assigned to the right person. But yep, that's pretty much all I had, Joe. I just wanted to apologize for dropping the ball a little bit in the middle of the race.
I'm sure it was still a great broadcast.
So I think, Buddy, you also dropped the ball on asking a very important question of tonight's race winner, Patrick Cowgill. And that's, we're going to a road course next week.
Oh, shoot.
But we've talked a lot about Sonoma. And I know you're not so confident in going there, but you always have good road course pace. I don't know if you've really had the ability to run any more practice laps since the last time we talked, but you may be feeling a little bit more confident about your ability to go back to back and pick up that elusive road course win that you're looking for.
My confidence level at Sonoma is not very high.
Yeah.
being that you're not racing this season, I feel a little bit more confident. And because, I placed third in the trucks, and I think it was Daniel and you that placed ahead of me, and neither of you guys are racing this season. So um, that kind of helps me a little bit, but my confidence still isn't super high because I don't know what it is. I'm not fast at Sonoma like I am at Watkins Glen or Chicago Street Course or something like that. It's just I can't figure that track out.
So I don't know about in the Gen 6, but I know in every other car Sonoma, less throttle is more throttle, if that makes any sense to you, especially on all the transitions, because that track, it's super easy to get light on the body, and then when you get light on the body, the tires spin, and you can actually have the car sound like it's going slower, but it's actually going faster because you're limited in that tire spin. I don't know if that works in Gen 6, but I know that's a thing for the next gen and the O'Reilly car and the ARC car.
Yeah, it works that way in the Gen 6 too.
That's kind of the technical.
The Gen 6 actually has a little bit less grip than I think most of those other ones do. The truck definitely is the worst for grip level. So I think that might help me a little bit, is the fact that the Gen 6 is a little bit better on grip than the truck is, but
Right.
I'm still not super confident.
Well, I have confidence in your ability. I'm very excited to see how that race plays out next week. But you got the first win. You got that monkey off your back for the season. First win here tonight at Auto Club. Patrick, before you let you go, anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, I got to thank my sponsor, CTN MB1 Connected Here. I got to thank you guys for putting on the awesome broadcast that you guys have been doing. Everybody on my team at DDI and all of the guys that helped me out and for running the league and all that stuff. And then I got to thank my wifey for letting me race, of course, because if she didn't let me race, I wouldn't be able to race.
Awesome. Patrick, congrats on the win tonight. Go try and celebrate a little bit before you go and unpack everything from tonight's race, because I know it's going to take you a few minutes to put on that admin cap. Keep that driver hat on for a little bit longer and really get yourself a good celebration on that first race win of the season. And I don't know. We'll see what happens next week at Sonoma.
It'll be nice if I get a win.
I think you're going to have a lot more speed than you're expecting to have right now. I'm very curious to see how that plays out. Patrick, have a good night. Congrats again on the dub. So great to have you guys. And we'll be sure to bring those cameras again next week, because it's going to be an absolute show to watch you guys struggle out there on the road course.
Yeah.
All right, thank you guys.
Yeah.
As your race winner, Patrick Cowgill tonight.
We ain't got no one else in waiting.
You know what?
Yeah.
You know what they say?
What's that?
They say that you never succeed if you don't take any shots. You lose 100% of the shots you don't take. And you know what? Actually, I think I just saw Jay Stinson hop up here.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so Jay's okay. Never mind. We're good. We can pull Jay Stinson up, and everything's gonna be fine. Jay, you got a copy?
Yes, sir. Hey, how you guys doing?
Oh, we're doing pretty good, man. What a race tonight. You looked like you had a bit of a slow start there to the race, but then we got down towards the nitty gritty, and you were right tucked up there with Justin and Cowgill, pretty much in the top three for the last couple runs of the race. Was there anything you really could have done differently there when it came down to the end to give yourself a better chance to maybe get that race win?
No, I don't think so. I think that those two had the strongest cars. My personal opinion. Definitely once the late caution happened, everybody got tires. I feel bad. I sent it into 1 and 2 there with 2 to go, and I thought I had it cleared to the wall, and ended up collecting Kyle there, Kevin Kyle. So, so it was kind of felt bad the rest of that run, just because I'd hate if that had happened to me. And so, I had to apologize to him, let him know that I probably should have backed out of it and probably finished 6th or 7th, to be honest with you. Just my fault. Just thought I had it cleared, and I didn't. So, but no, I think 3rd was a gift with how the car was and the guys that were really strong. I think it was a good battle between Parham in Calgary, and those two cars should have finished where they were. Well, I guess I finished second because I messed around par in there and went shot low, but yeah. So getting a top two was crazy, and I just feel bad for Kevin because I ruined his race right there with 2 to go. So it's not the way I wanted to do it.
Yeah, we did hear Patrick. He was talking a lot about when he was trying to make moves on the inside, the car gets super tight. Did you feel that? I mean, you were battling in the trenches for a lot of the race. So did you feel that maybe a little bit more amplified than somebody like Patrick or Justin, where they were racing, in fairly clean air compared to you running around that top 5 group, guys going 2 and 3 wide? Was it like amplified having the dirty air effect?
Yeah, it was crazy, to be honest with you. Like, you get on that high line and somebody would pull up the side draft, and in this car, it's just like, you just don't know what's going to end. Like, it could be the worst thing ever, or it could be fine. And so you were puckering pretty good every time somebody was on your door, going into a turn, straight, whatever it was. And the dirty air was interesting to fight through. My goal is just to try to run either a tad bit higher or a tad bit lower than the pack, to try to keep my nose clean and then have something there later. Worked pretty good when we started looking at like tire wears and stuff like that it was doing what I wanted to do, but it was just sketchy. Every time somebody was around you just didn't know if the dreaded net code was gonna bite you or not, or or what was gonna happen. It made for interesting gripping the steering wheel and puckering your tail, hoping that, hey, all this happens and goes clean.
So second podium of the season here tonight. You rebounded in the points this week. You're back up into the top 5. How do you feel about your chances of getting another good run next week, going to a road course for the first time in these cars at Sonoma?
Well, I think that anybody that's ran with me knows that the road course is the worst timing of all. So, like, I'm not excited. I like the track. I will say that. I do enjoy road courses. I'm just not fast at them. So, like, I'm happy that I did rebound and I got a few points this week, and then I'll fall back to probably where I was, if not a little worse, after next week. And my goal is to stay out of everybody's way and just have a good time. Going to put a little practice in and see if I can't figure some things out. But past that, I think you guys know I'm not a road course driver at all.
Yeah, I really wanted to hear your opinion on it, because Patrick Halgill, as you know, is very good at running up front and running fast laps at road courses, and he's feeling pretty iffy about next week himself. So I wanted to hear from your perspective as well, somebody that's not as much in the road course realm. You like racing them.
You could say it, buddy. You could say it. Not good at road course. It's okay. You're not gonna hurt my feelings. I'm a self-aware individual. Like, I'm not good at it. So yeah, no, I'm not dreading it, but I'm not looking to gain positions on the standings next week.
It's more about a maintaining sort of. It's more about a maintaining sort of week.
Maintain, have fun, and watch some of these really good road coursers that are in this league just have a blast at something that they enjoy. That's basically what I'll be doing. I may drink a little bit during it and stay out of everybody's way. That's how bad it really gets.
I'm gonna pass it over to Buddy. I know Buddy's probably itching to ask you a couple questions, because he had none for our race winner tonight. Yeah. So I'm sure he's got a couple lined up for you.
So, congratulations on the podium, Jay.
Appreciate it.
The not talking about road courses, how do you feel this car is going to deal with after the road courses end and we go to somewhere like Bristol or some of these shorter, tighter tracks, especially with the issues that we have with the net code?
I'll be true and honest with you. I looked at Bristol and was excited. I love Bristol. Anybody that's ran with me in here, there, I really like that track. It's my hometown track, and I'm excited to go there. My excitement has been a little bit dampered by just some of the things that are out of the control of the league with the car. It's going to be tight. Like I said, it's going to be one of those, just grip, and you may get tied up in the net code, you may not, and just have that mindset going into it to where you're not you're not mad at whatever happens, because it could be really cool and really fun, or it could go the other way, and be just dreadful. So as long as you go in there with that mindset that it could go that bad way, I think you'll be okay.
Yeah, I think so. Just understanding that net code is a problem, and I too absolutely love Bristol, so I'm very curious on how that race ends up playing out.
Me too.
Yeah,
Me too. I'll be interested to see. I guess how aggressive, and it's not. I don't even think it'll be aggressive. It's just like the run and the lines you have to run. Like, it's just gonna be there. So
right.
it's just a matter of, it'll be a matter of time, not
Yeah.
if. It's going to be when, and it's going to be fun to broadcast. I guarantee you, it's going to be a blast to watch and broadcast. You'll be on your toes the whole race, waiting for the caution to fly, so you can go look at what happened. But I am looking forward to it.
As far as the schedule goes, is there any specific track that you just wholeheartedly is waiting to come along that you're going to like 100% into?
Oh,
that
Bristol.
you have circled, and it's my baby, it's my whatever you want to call it. Like, normally mine's Homestead. Anytime I see Homestead on the track, it's like, zoop, that's my circle right there.
Yep. Yeah, I feel that way about Bristol and Darlington. I really like those two tracks. That's weird. I like the weird shaped ones. So if like Kentucky down at the bottom, I enjoy that track. I enjoy Darlington, Bristol just being hometown track and just got a lot of laps on it. Yeah. So I would say those three. Are looking forward to them. Should be fun to run.
All right. Yep. That's all I had, Joe. Just
all right, Jay. Before we let you,
go ahead. I'm just freaking. I'm so frustrated I'm still trying to get over my computer problems.
Oh, I got you. Hey, buddy, we're all having issues tonight. On the track, off the track. Yeah. Frustration's running wild tonight. It's okay.
Jay, before we let you go, anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, always you guys for doing the broadcast. I know it ain't easy to do all this stuff. The admins and the league owners and stuff to allow us to come out here and have a good time, and my teammates as always for running with me and hanging out in the chat and just having a good time. And again, just want to apologize to Kevin Kyle for my bonehead. It's over aggressive. Just didn't want it that way, and like to feel better about that, but I don't. So I apologize to him one more time. But that's it.
Well, Jay, you're back on the podium, second time this season, back in the top 5 in points. I mean, you got a lot to look forward to. Maybe get a little bit excited for Sonoma. There's some fast guys that are not going to be racing, so you may have a good chance to get a good run out of it. So keep the optimism just a little bit higher for next week. I know you got a couple of guys in there that are pretty good at road courses as well. So I know Grandstand will have some guys running up front. Even if it's not you next week, I know Fritz will probably be a threat for the win.
Yeah, Fritz loves them, and he'll enjoy it big time. So it should be fun to watch from the back.
Well, we appreciate you coming up with us here, Jay. Congrats on the second place finish. Go get celebration going with the squad for another great race.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
Jay Stinson, second place finisher there tonight. Man.
Well, Joe.
I don't think we're gonna get our third place finisher, unfortunately.
No, because he is out of voice everywhere and not in waiting.
That's unfortunate. Just to touch on Justin's race there tonight, he led the most laps, and it's been such a rough start to the season for him. If you think back to the first race of the season, remember he was leading all those laps at Daytona, up there in the top 3 for a lot of it, disconnected due to the internet problems. Finishes 23rd. Comes back the next week. We go to Vegas, another race where, he ran really well. I had a lot of speed again, finished 3rd in the stage, but only got 9th in the race and was well behind. I believe he got damaged towards the end of that one, if I'm not mistaken. Didn't really get the finish he wanted out of that one. Last week, we went to Phoenix, And again, it was another performance. Just he's always so good at Phoenix, and he finished second in the stage. It looked like he had a really great car going, but again, caught up in some stuff, ends up 23 laps down in 17th. This is really the first result that's shown the pace of Justin Parham this season. He led the most laps, started in the back, worked his way to the front, finished second in the stage, finishes third in the race. Looking at the stats, he had the best driver rating tonight. If you look at the stats across the season, he only has that one top 5, 2 top 10s in 4 races, but his average driver rating is second best in the series right now. So he's just not getting the finishes that matches the speed he's had. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens when we go to some of those tracks actually Jay named, because I've seen Justin win at Bristol and I've seen Justin win at Darlington. So I know we got some tracks coming up that Justin is also looking forward to.
Yeah, it's been Justin's had kind of rough up and down. So like you were saying, it is definitely the first night that everything has kind of stayed stable for him in the actual results. And I have no idea why, no matter who I have selected, it won't let me select. More computer problems, Joe.
No, this is an SDK problem. This happened to me last night, actually. SDK, when it gets to the end of like the race, this happened to me on Monday. So I'm going to hit an aside here at the end of this broadcast. So if anybody of you out there use SDK, there's something with the current version where it seems like when the race is over, and we're at this point right now where it's acting like the race is, I think it's an iRacing thing actually. Because like if I try and go to live action, it is not working right. It's completely broken. So there's something with iRacing that's not right. I
wonder if that's what that little download available is.
Yeah, I think so. The problem seems to be that when it closes the channel now for the race, it breaks everything on iRacing side. So that's what's happening.
I thought I was going crazy for a minute.
Nope. It's just not letting you do anything because technically we're disconnected from iRacing server. So SDK doesn't know what's going on. But I think the points were updated there, buddy. So I think we could take a look at those before we get out of here.
I'm not going to be able to.
No!
Wait, I'll be able to. Let me.
He's going to be able to.
I got to do it the old way. So the reason why I'm not able to is because I was accidentally way too quick whenever I visited the page to upload to update the points. So it put a 30-minute cache on there since I don't just pull from Sim Racer Hub every time. So I had to wait for that 30-minute cache to expire, which is then 4 minutes before I can update the points on the site and drag them into SDK, if that makes any sense. May for some, may for not for others, but what the? Okay,
I do think, they Sim Racer Hub, the order of the stuff got changed again in here, so that's probably going to throw off your code too.
Poop.
I mean, I can narrate what happened in the points this week, and we can pull it up early next week if it's going to mess things up.
Just run through it, and in 3 minutes, 2.5 minutes or something, I'll be able to refresh my cache and see what it breaks.
All right, so taking a look at the points. So even though Ken Renger didn't have a good finish tonight, he will go from plus 101 to plus 107. So he gained 6 points on the cut line, continues to lead the championship. That lead did get cut down slightly to 56 points now over Matthew Fritz. Third place becomes Justin Parham. He moved up 2 spots up to third. 6-spot gain for Patrick Calgill, goes from 10th to 4th. We touched on Jay Stinson moving back into the top 5. He's now 5th in the points, up 2 spots. Jonathan Casabeer's rough race tonight ends up pushing him down 3 to 6th. Kyle Anott also lost 3 tonight, falls to 7th. Danny Sanchez, even though he didn't have the finish he wanted, moves up a spot to 8th. Steve Lewis is a big gainer this week, moves up 9 spots into the top 10 into 9th. Rounding out that top 10, going to be Graham McGivern now as he moves up 1 to 10th.
Hey,
Going
I got it.
Hey, look at that. Now we can look at what's going on.
And it didn't break anything.
So now looking at what's going on. So that's where we were. 10th place, Graham McGivern. 11th place, up 4 spots, going to be Dalton Geyer. Cody Matthews going to round out that top 12. 2 points out is going to be Jordan Finnegan after his rough race tonight. Cody Matthews as well had a lot of guys on that cut line had a rough race or weren't here in the cases of Matt Novella and Glenn Grigsby, both of them falling out of the top 10 as they're down 8 and 7 spots respectively. Michael Mata and Zach Hillman are currently tied for 16th. They are 14 points out of the playoffs. Brandon Lawless right behind them, 15 points out in 18th. Chris Calgill up 3 spots, but he's 23 points out of a playoff spot. See Mark Zabak up 1. Zach Panzarella down 2 starts right now. He is 21st, the first guy with 2 starts over Michael Wolf, Tom Lester, Brandon Wybera, Andrew Bolander, and Kevin Kyle, all them with 2 starts. And then Chase Greer and Trevor Woodward both with 1. And so what I'm looking at here is it's so hard to miss races in the early part of the season, but buddy, it's gonna break here at some point soon anyways. You know why?
What's that?
There's a drop week in this series. So when we get to enough starts for that to activate, then this is going to look very interesting. Different. And the plus minuses are not going to make sense anymore. And everybody's going to be confused. But
so
you know what? I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Whenever they do that, whenever they activate whenever the drop week comes into play, I don't think it's going to break my end because
it's just going to make the data not make any. It's just going to make the data not make any sense because it's going to be like this person moved up 10 spots even though they were in second last week, anyways.
Oh yeah.
Because the way it calculates stuff is going to just like throw everything haywire. So it's not going to make sense anymore to really talk about who's moving up and down spots. We're just going to have to kind of like keep track of who's where in the chase picture for those when that starts. So keep that in mind, everybody, while you're watching through these broadcasts. It's going to get a little crazy at some point in the season with that. Buddy, final thoughts coming out of tonight's race?
I hate technical problems. No, the racing was good. It's kind of what we expect for Auto Club, right? Crazy track, multiple lanes, really heavy draft track. Unfortunately, it was kind of a bad combo where you throw in netcode problems and the different closing rates and closing speeds the different people have, and netcode kind of multiplies that effect a little bit since it's trying to look ahead and calculate what it thinks a car is going to do, which creates the whole netcode problem anyways. So it's unfortunate for that. I am super, super, super happy to go to Sonoma next week, where hopefully netcode isn't the hot topic of the day. And watching some of these guys turn right.
Oh, yeah. Let's go road course racing next week, baby. On my end, it's really just been the case of Grandstand Racing versus DDI Motorsports versus MC Motorsports first 4 weeks of the season right here. And those 3 have been able to pick up wins. Backpack Racing and Black Wolf are trying to get themselves in order to get their way up there. I know they're missing a couple guys here the past couple weeks as well, to where they haven't been at full strength. So we'll see what they bring next week at a road course. I'm going to leave you with the guys that I expect to be our podium next week if everything goes correctly. I'm going to expect to see Matthew Fritz, Patrick Calgill, and Kyle Lynott. I think that's going to be your podium. Now, that's if Matt Novella doesn't show again. If Matt Novella shows, then I think, oh boy, that's going to be the wild card. Because if he shows and he's on pace, he's going to be tough to beat.
Yeah, Novella is strong at road courses. He's won I've seen Panzarella and Calgill. Kind of the same thing along the names that you said. are names I'm familiar with around road courses, and those guys being pretty quick.
Well, we're going to find out what happens when we go there next week. If you guys are true believers, then make sure you're subscribing to the channel. Man, we've been blowing up on subscribers here recently and the views. Thank you to all supporters out there coming out to watch these broadcasts that we've been putting on here 5 nights a week of action out there with this series going on. So many live broadcasts going on the channel at this point, buddy. It's been so cool to see all these different broadcasts that we got going on. You know, we start the week with the Monday Mayhem Cup Series there on Mondays. Got Zach Panzarella, Mean Gene Money on the call live with that broadcast. That DDI ARCA Series switching over to the Shameless Watch Collector ARCA Series is going to be starting back up here in a few weeks as well. Be on the lookout for that one. Tuesday nights, Big Truckin' Tuesday is now going to be on an off week as the regular season wrapped up last night. Eric Gambrell with a very clutch win to make his way into the round of 12 to start the playoffs. They're now all going to think about it for a week before they go to New Hampshire in 2. You just watched the Shameless Watch Collector Moonlight Cup Series on Wednesdays. We'll see you next week at Sonoma for our next race. Thursday night Quantum Contender Series is in a heated playoff battle. I believe they're going to Motegi or something like that. Some sort of indie track is what I heard they're going to tomorrow. So that'll be very interesting. And then the Bonfire Premier Cup will be at Richmond this coming Sunday. Be sure to check out that broadcast with Mean Gene Money, Smoking Joe as well. So many different broadcasts, so many different people. Kevin, Kyle, and Kyle, the Trash Man Lanat, on that coverage on Thursdays. You got us on Wednesdays. Zach, Mean Gene on Monday. I mean, man, we got so much going on. Thanks for all the support that we've gotten. Also, go check out all of the fish speed stuff that's going on the channel with Jordan Fisher and Zach Panzarella, all those track guides with the A-Class Cup car. Great videos to go check out if you're looking for some help with setups, learning how to drive tracks. Great stuff on the channel as well with Kevin Kyle and all of his stuff with the Garage 61. We got plenty of stuff that we're rolling out over the next couple of weeks and months. So be on the lookout for all the new cool stuff that we got going on the channel. Because, man, you ain't seen nothing yet. We're just getting started over here. And, man, I can't believe it. We're through our 4th race of the season. It's been crazy just to see all the action we have going on. And boy, I'm just looking forward to another week of it. I know you guys are as well. For Smokin' Joe and Buddy the Professor, we're going to say adieu from California tonight, and we'll see you just a couple miles down the road in Sonoma next week.